It has been well characterized by the Chandrayaan-3, Chandrayaan-2, Mars Orbiter mission, AstroSat. All of them are testimony to that fact that we are able to do such missions at extremely low cost, low development cost as well, not the actual hardware cost. And we do all of this while we work on rest of the activities. So this has been a passion driving within the organization to do something very significant and different than sending a communication satellite, a remote sensing satellite, building rockets, etc. A scientific mission has its own very challenge and thrill. Second aspect is collaboration. Right. In all of this, we have been collaborating not with the institutions in the country, but also outside. Within the country, there are so many scientific establishments, research laboratories, institutions like IIT, where planetary research is happening, space-based research is happening. We make sure that we bring all of them into the forum of discussion. Right. All their scientific objectives and research goals are planted into each of these missions that you can see very clearly. So, and many of them publish based on this data, research, etc. And many of the space scientists in India came out of the data came out of these 4 satellites. So it's a collaborative work even today. And many of them are building instruments for us. Other laboratories are building instruments for us. So through that, we are creating a pool of scientists who are able to understand many aspects of planetary science in India. So there is a good pool of this. So essentially, I will tell you the hallmark of our mission is, one is very low cost engineering, large amount of collaborations, and very clear scientific goals that we are setting forth. And it is driven as a passion of doing it. It is not just for achieving some milestones.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Somnath. In terms of collaboration, you're speaking essentially about the Indian scientific community being part of it. Are we also looking at collaboration with other nations as far as this mission is concerned?
In the Chandrayaan-3 mission, there is no external collaboration. All the payloads are built within India.
So it was very different than what we saw in Chandrayaan-2, which also had
Chandrayaan-1.
Moving a little ahead as far as the other missions are concerned, because that too now, these days have a lot of curiosity. You're part of some of, for instance, Gaganyaan being one of them. What is the timeline, or what are the other missions that ISRO is essentially working on right now, which again is going to be the other big challenges that you're looking at? You've had several launches this year itself, so I'm not really getting into that. I'm looking in terms of looking ahead, what are the missions that you're really
looking at? Let me quickly talk about some of the immediate missions and targets that we have set. The first and foremost is a mission for the Sun Aditya L1 launch. So the satellite is in the final phase of integration, testing, etc. And we are hoping by next month end we should be able to launch, which is very important scientific goal as far as the solar science is concerned, which is already a well-developed scientific field in India with observatories, etc. Second is we are working on another satellite called X-ray polarimeter satellite, which is XPOSat, which is also nearly completed. And we are yet to schedule the launch of this satellite, which is going to study of polarimetry of satellite stars, which will also look at the star formation, black holes, and things like that, which is again a scientific mission. We are in the and we are going to launch our climate and weather satellite INSAT 3DS immediately, which is very much required by IMD for its weather forecast and prediction, which is next mission. We have to launch the test vehicle for Gaganyaan for demonstrating the crew escape capability, which is again scheduled in August time frame. Okay. Then we have SSLV D3 to be launched, next development flight of SSLV to be launched this year itself. And we have multiple PSLV launches to happen for commercial customers. So that is this year's, and early next year we have to have the unmanned mission of the Gaganyaan.
So you're saying early next year is what we are looking as far as Gaganyaan is concerned. In terms of the last few months, we have seen the kind of announcements that have been made with regards to space exploration in terms of collaborating with countries like the United States of America, the Artemis Accord being one of them. Some have argued that is India now preparing to get into the space war, because that is the other big challenge that is emerging right now. I understand this is not only about ISRO, it's 2 countries signing it. But how do you essentially look at this argument that we are basically moving towards the path of space war, and to combat that and be at a pivotal role that we would like to play?